Sounds really good. Good morning, peace. Good morning. So let me put a baseline out there because some of you might be newer to the community, and so maybe you didn't get the email. Some of you got the email but haven't opened it yet, because that's what you do when church emails come your way. Some of you got the letter, but it's on the corner of your counter right now, and you go, why didn't I open that letter? But what it said was, after 26 years being a pastor here, I received a call to go to a church in a suburb of the Twin Cities. And so June 2nd will be my final Sunday here at Peace Lutheran Church. And starting July 1st there. A couple of things I want to say. One is, I was not looking for another call. I wasn't even anticipating that. I was actually, we were settling into, empty nester, going, this is awesome, empty nester. And we thought, no disruptions to life. This is going to be fantastic. And, well, look what happened. But a couple of things that are true for me in most parts of my life. One is, I always say to myself, and I hope you've heard me say it over the years, that wherever you are, and whatever time you're there, I want you to think about investing yourself fully as a child of God in that place. And so that's what I try to do. So I'm not thinking about the future. I'm just saying, here I am in my home, in my neighborhood, in my community. This is what I do in this place. So we do that. At the same time, we listen. And if things come along where you have to say, wait a second, am I being invited or called or brought into a conversation that I didn't anticipate being brought into? And so you listen. And then you ask God, is this the right thing to do? And you go through all this sorts of list of questions. And it was a grind because I love this community. So one of the things that we've said a number of times in the staff meetings is grief is the price that we pay for love. Grief is the price that we pay for love. And so I'm looking out at this community today, and there are people on my call committee from 26 years ago. There's the first kid I baptized, is sitting in the third row on the left, of my left. And it's just so remarkable to think about all the ways that I got to love this community, and you did the same for me and for my family for 26 years. One of the things I love the most about it is the community that you become. And I'm so proud to be a pastor at Peace Lutheran Church. Wherever I am in the community, when people find out, they say, oh yeah, that's the church, that. And they fill in the blank with something. And that's not because of me, it's because of you. The kinds of people you become, the way that the Spirit of God has continued to shape you in your life, and the community that you're going to continue to be. So, we've got a few weeks here that we're going to be able to just say our goodbyes with one another. But also to begin to continue the transition that says, you know what? God has been at work for 181 years at Peace Lutheran Church. Think about that. God worked here for 26, and God is going to continue to work through all of you for the next generation here at Peace Lutheran Church. And that gives me a sense of solace and peace and encouragement as we go forward. So I hope what you understand about me is that in the end, it's not about me. It's about a big story that I tried to connect you with in the work that I've done over 26 years. And the beauty of this week in the life of the church is that we get to tell that story again and be mindful of the fact that this Jesus who rides into Jerusalem through his death and resurrection continues to bring us individually and us as a community hope. So I want you to hear that story as we start. When they were approaching Jerusalem at Bethphage and Bethany, near the Mount of Olives, he sent two of his disciples and said, go into the village ahead of you, and immediately as you enter it, you'll find tied there a colt that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it. Now if anyone says to you, why are you doing this? Just say, the Lord needs it, and we'll send it back here immediately. So they went away, and they found the colt tied near the door outside in the street. As they were untying it, some of the bystanders did say, what are you doing? Why are you untying the colt? And they told them what Jesus had said, and they allowed them to take it. Then they brought the colt to Jesus, threw their cloaks on it, and he sat upon it. Many people spread their cloaks on the road, others spread leafy branches that they cut in the fields. Then those who went ahead and those who followed all joined in singing.
Glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children make sweet hosannas ring. All glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children of children, may sweet hosannas ring. You are the King of Israel and David's royal son. Now in the Lord's name, our King and blessed one. Glory, Lord, and honor to you, Redeemer King, to whom the lips of children may sweet hosannas ring. Harmony of angels are praising you on high. Creation and all mortals sing glorious kingly high.
Join me in these words. This day, we join the whole church in welcoming Jesus into Jerusalem. This day, we welcome Jesus again into our lives. In his life, death, and resurrection, our images of God are forever transformed. For he is a king, but he reigns over a kingdom of love. He is a master, but he takes the form of a servant and washes his disciples' feet. He is the Savior of the world. But he saves us from ourselves by showing us there is another way to live in this world. He is our Lord and our guide. So this week we walk with him again, from triumph to tragedy,